She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars, and mainly because of her and because nobody wanted to support her.
Have you ever seen a rising star torpedo their own rocket before it even leaves Earth's atmosphere? Because that's pretty much what went down in the Snow White saga. 1 minute, Rachel Zegler was Disney's golden child, poised to bring the classic fairy tale back to life. The next, she's in the center of a Hollywood meltdown.
Every one of the 18 hours I am in the Snow White dress, I expect to get paid. If it's 18 hours, I want 18 hours of pay. I'm sure she got underpaid as a Disney lead actress.
And now, spoiler alert, Disney has brought in Jenna Ortega as the new Snow White. If you're reaching for your popcorn, buckle in. This story's got rumors, mega million-dollar misfires, and enough behind-the-scenes drama to fuel a year's worth of viral tweet. Rachel Zegler was once the fresh-faced newcomer everyone rooted for. She blew up after scoring a lead in a big musical adaptation. And if you believe the buzz, she was practically destined to star in every major studio flick from now to eternity. The hype train was unstoppable. Until it wasn't. Disney practically gift-wrapped Snow White for her. Classic fairy tale, guaranteed fan interest, musically talented leading lady, check, studio confidence, off the charts. But just as quickly as Rachel's star soared, the seeds of tension began to sprout.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Say it louder so your other eye can hear you.
So we didn't do that this time.
Alleged disagreements on tone, some questionable interview quotes, and an ominous vibe that maybe this dream gig wasn't so dreamy behind the scenes. So how do you spark a first-class fiasco? Start by calling the original prince a stalker, a comment that fans of the 1937 classic found downright disrespectful. That's like telling your grandma her prize-winning apple pie is a bit too sweet, Nana. Suddenly, social media turned into a battleground. Rachel criticized the fairy tale love story, fans accused her of trashing tradition, and the back and forth became the entertainment equivalent of a family reunion gone horribly wrong. The worst part? This was all unfolding before the movie even opened. People started to wonder if the star of the show hates the original story.
Yes, Toolman.
Yeah, I have a clip of it.
Oh, okay, great.
Her being a retard.
Okay.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by
You
the
wrote
prince.
it?
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Why should we watch her version? Disney is not exactly a brand that enjoys losing money. When you plaster posters and run major promo campaigns, you expect a decent return. But as the negativity kept piling on, so did the cost of damage control. Let's just say, go woke, go broke became a trending slogan for some folks. Rumor has it that ticket sales for the Snow White adaptation were so underwhelming, they felt like an empty buffet line at 3 a.m.
Yeah, we had more dwarfs than we did viewers in most of these theaters. And as you know, there were no dwarfs other than some CGI weird generated version of them. It's the old, it truly is go woke, go broke.
Every time Rachel dropped another eyebrow-raising comment, the film's box office forecast took another dive. In a world where a single flop can cost tens of millions, Rachel's remarks were like turning off the faucet on Disney's money stream. While they stood there, jaws on the floor, wondering where it all went. Word on the street is Rachel's co-star Gal Gadot wasn't exactly her BFF. In some alternate universe, these two would have formed a superpowered, star-studded Disney dream team. Instead, rumors say they argued like siblings forced to share the last slice of pizza. Creative disagreements, clashing perspectives, awkward red carpet interviews, basically everything you don't want headlining your billion-dollar production. And when those arguments trickle into the public eye, you can kiss that united front strategy goodbye.
This weird feminist thing where her heroine cannot be in love or be saved by a man, the prince, that she's more focused on becoming the leader she was meant to be, as if women in modern day America must make that choice.
By the time reshoots rolled around, the tension had escalated to the point that not even the best PR spin could clean it up. It was like they gave the mop bucket to the new intern and told them, knock yourself out. once a studio invests big money in an actor, they don't want to hear that she's become the entertainment industry's biggest PR risk.
So she just encapsulates everything that most of us cannot stand about modern day feminism and the left in general.
Yet, that's exactly what people started whispering about Rachel. She's blacklisted now. Paramount reportedly had a high-profile thriller waiting for her, but after Snow White turned into a fiasco, they quietly retracted the welcome mat. Legendary Pictures also appeared to do the cha-cha away from any deals involving her. Was it all her fault? Or was she just an easy target after the film bombed?
And if she hadn't have opened her mouth, I think that this movie might have done well. They might have just been able to ride on the hopium of the movie and some well-cut trailers, and people would have paid to go see it, and then it would have fallen off when people knew it was garbage.
Regardless, once you lose Disney's backing and other studios follow, Hollywood's red carpets become more like a labyrinth with trapdoors. Cue dramatic drum roll. Disney's next Hail Mary pass is Jenna Ortega. She's fresh, she's talented, and so far, she hasn't offended any fan bases by calling beloved princes Creeper McCreeperson. Perfect. Disney's betting that she'll bring the masses back on board, this time without the PR disasters.
But I don't know anything about her. So it's hard to develop some sort of admiration or connection with women when they're written very two-dimensional.
Drama pieces going on between Jenna Ortega and the Walt Disney Company. Disney's been trying to desperately get her on board.
For Jenna, it's a golden opportunity to do Snow White 2.0, presumably minus the controversies that sank the first ship. The big question, can she walk that tightrope of modernizing the fairy tale while also respecting the original's fairy dust? If you're at Disney HQ, you're desperately hoping she can. Otherwise, hello second meltdown. So where does that leave Rachel? She's watching a role she once championed get handed to someone else.
When I did television shows when I was younger, they would take us to media training, or they would call it, Disney 101 or something like that, where you would go and they would give you a notebook and pens and pencils and paper, and they would say, okay, you're gonna post 3 times a day.
That's got to sting worse than stepping on a Lego in the middle of the night. Insiders say she's still shocked by the recasting. Studio rumors claim she's labeled too risky for big budget epics, at least for the time being. Could she stage a comeback? Sure, with the right indie film or a powerhouse performance somewhere else. Hollywood loves a redemption story, just not at the expense of the bottom line.
Rachel Zegler made it so hateable that you really sabotaged and took hundreds of millions of dollars from the studio. I don't know how anyone would ever want to go into business with her.
And that's the cold truth. Studios might admire your talent, but not if it comes gift-wrapped in a PR fiasco. At the end of this twisted fairy tale, Disney's message is clear. Snow White can be reimagined, recast, and resold, but there is zero room for an all-out meltdown in the Magic Kingdom. One day, we might see Rachel Zegler triumphant, telling a comeback story that'll make tabloids swoon.
Do you know, how hard it is to find an attractive young woman in Hollywood who can act and sing? It's not hard. Who just isn't going to offend half the country?
Or maybe she'll linger in Hollywood's penalty box until the buzz dies down. For now, Disney's pivot to Jenna Ortega signals they're done messing around with toxic headlines and fan backlash. Could the new Snow White swing from epic flop to magical success? Possibly. Or maybe the real moral of the story is simpler. Never, ever call the prince a stalker.
Every single white male is a piece of shit, and the woman is the hero, and all authority is bad, and all business is bad, but government is good as social. And most people don't know what they're watching. She, unfortunately, sort of pulled the curtain back and people knew exactly what was going on.
Especially when legions of devoted fans are watching your every word. Because in Hollywood, your moment in the spotlight can disappear faster than you can say, happily ever after.